Oh my goodness, it's my favorite type of year. But also a pandemic.
This is your favorite. I was going to say, wow, you've been waiting a while since the Black Plague, but now it's here. You are.
I'm loving it.
You were just like a pig in mud over here.
It's my favorite time of year where we get to talk about the biggest hits and the biggest bombs
That's right.
of the year, this year being 2021. This video, of course, looking at the biggest success stories, Mason.
Whoa!
Big companies doing big business.
You're doing big success arms. People
That's what I'm
can't see it.
doing, yeah.
You've got them up in the air to signify a V for victory for all these people who we support wholeheartedly.
Agreed.
And we wish them all success in the future also.
If you could leave a like on this, that would be great. So what we're going to do, we're going to go 10 to 1, the most profitable movies. And I say profitable because I ranked these not from how much money they necessarily made, but how much they made in relation to the budget. In terms of the budget, the general rule is, and I just want to stress, this isn't a hard and fast rule, it's just the thing that we go by, it's roughly double the budget because of marketing. So if a movie's $100 million to make, it's an additional $100 million
That's
to
right.
then get out there.
Roughly. Folks, just go with the concept.
Yeah, that's right.
Just enjoy this.
You don't have to believe anything.
You don't have to do any of your own equations in the comments, but if you want to, go nuts.
If you could. Starting at number 10, we've got Shang-Chi, which had a budget between $150 and $200 million, and it made $432. I feel like this is a movie that would have definitely done better in a different year.
For sure,
You know what I mean? It was widely liked. Critics and fans, you know, they flocked to cinemas somewhat to see this movie again because of the era that we live in. And unlike another movie which isn't on this list, it did enough to warrant a sequel. I'm talking specifically about Eternals. That maybe will make an appearance on the next video, because even though Eternals...
Guys, we already recorded the video and it's definitely on the list. It's definitely on the list. It's a big time failure. It's a big bust.
Not necessarily. But Eternals... We'll talk about it. We'll get into it. You know what I mean? It did well, but maybe not so much when you compare the budget. So, look, was this a movie? Yes.
Yes.
Is it getting a sequel? Yes. Is it getting a spin-off television serease?
Dunno.
Probably also.
Oh.
Will they make it into the What If universe? Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Why not?
Why not? That's what they should call the show.
Has it inspired a generation of little kids to take up Kung Fu and punch a dragon?
No doubt.
Go down to Chinatown during a celebration and punch a dragon.
Next up we have at number 9, we've got Dune, which cost $165 million and made $393.5 million. What's interesting about this is they had the opportunity to make... Thank you. To make this and its sequel at the same time.
Yes.
Denis Villeneuve was like, can we please do this? And they were like, no, because... historically, Dune does not do well. Live action.
It hasn't been doing so well. This whole Dune franchise.
And he's also since come out and said, thank God I didn't do that anyway, because by the time the first finished filming, I was cooked, mate. I was bloody done. But here's the thing about...
I've turned Australian somehow. Bloody cooked, mate. I'm rooted.
Here's what's interesting about this one, though. This went to HBO Max, and it's one of the few HBO Max movies that turned a profit. And I think the reason that happened is because they released it overseas, as in outside of the US first. To cinemas. A few weeks before, word was good. It was like, you need to see this in cinemas. You know, you don't want to watch this on streaming. It's a big theater experience.
It really is, yeah.
And as a result of that, then when it came around to other regions of the world, people actually went out to see it. Now, make no mistake, it's not a huge hit, but it's very much in the green and obviously enough to make a second one.
It's the best Dune has ever done, honestly.
Yep. Speaking of big, at number 8.
Tom Hanks is big?
Yeah, number 8. Tom Hanks is big.
They re-released it, yeah.
Yeah. And this
time... They were like super problematic edition.
Yeah, they re-edited it so the woman went to jail. You know?
Yeah.
Because even after she found out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's like, I still want it. I don't
regret it. Yeah. What a strange time.
Yeah, it really is.
Anyways, Godzilla vs. Kong, another HBO Max release. Budget between 155 and 200 million, made 467.8. This was apparently rumored to be like the wrap-up of the Monsterverse. Warner Brothers were like, I don't think these do well anymore, and the last one before this wasn't super well received. And this one, surprisingly also, the cinema release still did well despite going to streaming. Because again, I think it's like, if you're going to see big monsters hit each other and themselves.
What are you going to watch them on your bloody phone?
Yeah, you're going to watch them on your phone?
You're watching Godzilla vs. Kong, you're playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, is that what you're doing?
What are you doing?
Is that what you're doing? Next up at number 7, bit of a surprise entrance. When I saw the trailer for this for the past 4 years, as they've been advertising it, Free Guy. I was like, oh yeah, whatever, I guess.
This might be real.
Yeah.
Or it might be an advertisement for a phone company or something. Wait, this is just an ad for Raid Shadow Legends.
It does have that vibe, doesn't it? I think it's better than that, though. Budget between 100...
You think you're willing to commit to that?
Well, some movies aren't.
Yeah, that's true.
A budget between 100 and 125 million. It made 331.5 million. I think it's just fun, you know? Just a fun movie.
Lighthearted fun.
Yep.
Pack up your troubles. Watch it on your phone.
I feel like this is the kind of movie where Ryan Reynolds would be like, yeah, watch it on your phone. I don't care, actually.
I've been paid already. I don't care. I'm too busy in some sort of ongoing prank war with Hugh Jackman. I don't care what you do with my movie.
You know what's funny about this, though? I think initially the idea was, do we get the license for something like a GTA? But then they went, no, you got to adhere to all the laws of that. And then maybe we have to pay them money or whatever. So I think they did well to just go, let's separate ourselves and make it like a GTA-like experience.
Sure, yeah.
And step outside of that. I think that was the right call. Number 6. Now, this is only here because we have hard streaming facts, which I know you love, Mason.
I love all my facts to be both hard and streaming.
So this is Black Widow. Budget of 200 million. It made 379 million, which isn't enough, but apparently it's streaming. It made an additional 125 million because unlike HBO Max, you had to pay to see it on Disney Plus.
That's true, and we only know these figures because Scarlett Johansson sued Disney.
I think that
why?
might have been the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she got a big payout and all of that. So I feel like, again, if this had have gone the way of HBO Max, this would absolutely not be on this list. But, did pretty well, all things considered. I don't know, people are like, I don't know if that movie's very good. I thought it was pretty good. Pretty good
fun. Good bit of fun.
I wasn't expecting much.
And it inspired a generation of little kids to start fake Russian families and live as sleeper agents in America.
My goodness.
For decades.
I hope that trend never dies, quite frankly.
Yeah, same, right?
Number 5, we've got A Quiet Place. Deuce. Yeah, that's right.
A Quiet Deuce.
Yeah, that's
It's called Have a Quiet Deuce.
Shh, don't tell your mates. Have a quiet deuce. Anyways, the reason this is on here is because even though it's got a $55 to $61 million budget, it made 297. Immensely profitable.
Yes.
Low budget.
Low to mid-budget movie.
Yeah.
But making a big success. Pretty rare these days.
I agree.
It's either like a little short film or it's Endgame again.
That's right. And there's nothing else. And good, quite frankly.
That's right.
It's the sound of that drummer who's going deaf or it's Endgame.
That's right.
That's it. Both good movies in their own way. Now, initially, this was going to go to cinemas in 2020. And there was a big push, and I believe there were offers for this to go to streaming. And John Krasinski, and I think he probably learnt this from all the business he did in the office, he knew this wasn't a good financial decision.
That's right.
And obviously this has paid off. And John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, people who are incredibly rich, guess what, Mason?
Even richer?
Even richer, that's
nice.
right.
Once again, we fully support all of these people and all that they do. What's that guy's name? Who is he? The guy? Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool guy.
Cool.
Cool show. Cool and normal.
Yeah, normal show.
Coming in at number 4.
I call it not-aganda.
Is that what you call
how
it?
much not propaganda
I
is.
agree. I also call it that. Coincidentally, we call it the same thing.
Yeah.
Number 4, we got No Time to Die. Had a budget between 250 to 301 million, and it made 774 million. Now, what's interesting about that is that's a clear in the green, but Variety reported it needed 900 million to break even.
Wow.
And so technically, I guess, or not technically, if that's the case, it didn't make that.
Is that because they had to market it 4
15
years?
times.
Yeah, a bunch of times. They had to drag Daniel Craig out for 15 sets of interviews. Yeah, I'm still excited about the movie. Yeah, it'll be a good final outing for me, Daniel Craig.
Did I enjoy
it.
Did I enjoy the role as much as anybody can who's trapped in fame?
Yes, I very much enjoyed my boat ride with the Queen or whatever it was.
It was a plane ride.
Plane ride with the Queen.
Might have been helicopter.
It was a long time ago when I did it. I don't remember.
Anyways, the studio...
If you said I did it, I didn't.
Anyways, the studio they said that's not true, and it is profitable.
But they would, wouldn't they?
They would. But I'm happy for them to get a big win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We hardly endorse, etc., and so forth.
That's true, yeah. The Broccoli family are due a win, I think.
That's right.
It's been a long, cold winter, and they've been stuck in the ground.
You ain't wrong.
Because they're broccoli.
Yeah, and some of them are dead.
Oh, yeah, also that, yeah.
Yeah. So I wasn't expecting much from this at all, but I really enjoyed it.
It's a good
I thought it
setup,
was
I think.
terrific.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I know it did some things that broke from Bond tradition, but quite frankly, it was due for a bit of a shake-up.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I'm not
now-
even mad that his famous Walther PPK, like he pulled the trigger and a big bang flag came out of it in every scene of the movie.
That was my favourite bit, I reckon.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, it added some much-needed tension.
And gravitas.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, yeah, I think you're right. And I think because Daniel Craig has like a hand in the writing and production of it, I think, and he didn't really want to come back for this last one, but they were like...
The last one wasn't good. Do you want to do another one?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Will you pay me a lot? Yes, obviously we will.
Do I get to do a bunch of interviews for years and years straight? Yes, Daniel, of course you do. We've turned it around. Now he loves them.
Now he loves them again.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we got number 3. We got F9. Budget of 200 to 225 million. It made 726.2. I didn't think it was great. I also think it landed at the exact right time of the year where cinemas were like open-ish around the world. It was kind of in between waves.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, not a good movie.
People were just happy to be out of the house. And I was until I saw F9. And then I'm like, didn't like it. Didn't think it was very
like
good.
a dad, you said.
I did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now, the most important thing about this movie is...
Just to be clear, I like some of the other ones. 7 and 8.
I completely agree. I just thought this one was a bit of a miss for me personally, but it did deliver on a lot of the things that people like. And of
Magnets.
Magnets. And the thing that the magnets bit was good. The thing that I found most interesting was, how did we know that John Cena and Vin Diesel were brothers, Mason? They tanned them the same color.
Oh, sure, of course.
They've got that same golden tan.
Oh, beautiful.
You can tell they're brothers. Otherwise, they don't look alike. But the tan
Tan, yeah.
really sells it. Coming in at number 2, inexplicably, is Venom. Let there be some carnage, please.
Now, you've made a mistake here, and now I'm a little bit upset and concerned that we're going to have to start again. You're going to have to recrunch those numbers because it's a very average movie.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the key.
Maybe that is the key.
You know?
$110 million in terms of budget. It made 498.2. The thing about these is, I've just written here, I just wish these were better.
I mean, and this
You know?
one,
And it was fine.
This one could have been and should have been better. I love Tom Hardy, love Woody Harrelson, love Andy Serkis.
Big fan.
Other people are also in that movie.
Yep. But also it's short, so you get more people into cinemas. More sessions
yeah, of course. Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
And it had that incredible moment at the end, hinting at a better movie.
That's true, it did, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what?
And I guess a lot, it's all the Morbius fans.
That's right.
They're out there, they're like, well, I gotta, I'm waiting for Morbius. I gotta catch. I don't want to be in Morbius. And they're like,
Yep.
remember what happened in Venom 2? And I'd be like, oh,
God damn.
God damn.
I don't remember what happened in Venom 2, even though I saw it, is what I will say when I see the movie Morbius. Anyways, it is what it is, and we support all companies and all decisions and
Love
everybody involved with all of this.
The bigger the company, the better. That's what I say.
Coming in at number
Especially
1.
that special company, the CIA.
Oh,
Jack Ryan. Watch Jack Ryan on Amazon
the most
Video.
special, the most normal, the most best prayer hands also.
That's right.
May I just say. I forgot to mention this up top. There are a number of releases in China which aren't on this list because I don't know anything about them and I haven't seen them. So there you go. That's not to discount them. That being said, I've discounted them. Number 1, Mason. Do you know what it is?
I reckon it's probably, and it's done this in the span of a couple of days.
Yep.
It's Spider-Man No Way Home, right?
That's right. It didn't get to the biggest movie in a couple of days, but it did have the biggest opening for the year.
Yeah, right.
And also second ever, only to Endgame in the US.
Pretty big.
Yeah, so the final numbers aren't in at the time of recording, but this is by far number 1 at the cinemas for this year. This is like pre-pandemic numbers. It's a trip down Spider-Man memory lane.
Yeah.
Like that lane where his uncle was shot or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, sure.
Yeah, sure, Mason says. That's what he says.
More of a cul-de-sac, but all right.
I think in terms of like blockbusters, it did so much right. Like it lent in nostalgia, it did some new and fresh stuff.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
had some good performances. There's some heartfelt moments. There's some decent action scenes. The marketing campaign was just very much on point.
And also, you got to see it opening weekend because otherwise someone's going to spoil it for you.
Like
So,
us. Here we go.
Here we go.
Now, you've seen it. We don't even need to, I reckon. And if you haven't seen it, you've had it spoiled for you by now, I'd imagine. Anyways, this was the biggest hits of the year. But guess what? A video where we get to make fun of stuff is coming up, Mason.
That's right.
The biggest bombs. It'll be our final video of the year. We will explain what's going on with Eternals. We will explain where Snake Eyes is. Why wasn't it on this list? Great question.
Good, really good question. I saw it 0 times in cinemas.
We will also explain what by far is the biggest loss of the year. Because my God, it's a big one.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. So that's going to be up sooner rather than later. So if you do want to subscribe, I'm at Mr. Sunday Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
Do you support big business? Let us know
Yes.
below.
Do you support Big Sandwich?
Great question.
Isn't
Why
it
do you
though?
why do you say that, Mason?
Well, we've got a service called bigsandwich.co.
That's correct.
Sign up there, and we've got bonus podcasts and movie commentaries and early videos and early access to our podcast, The Weekly Planet.
Yep.
But we go on a little break
Yep.
during the new year.
Some of January.
But Big Sandwich keeps going. There's
That's
all sorts of
right.
bonus content there every week.
And of course, at the Weekly Planet, we do our wrap up for the year where we talk about all the things that we loved and didn't love. That is coming up. That will be our final episode before we take a little bit of a break. I'm at Mr. Sunday Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
Big hands, Mason.
Big success arms. Here they are.
Big success arms. I'm the Tony Robbins of this, aren't I?
Yeah.
Just bringing in motivational things with my giant head.
And I'm Chris Angel. I'm floating above the crowd. How do I do it? It's dark magic.
Is it dark magic?
No, I think it's probably wires.
Yeah, dark wires. So
Why
you can't
dark
see
wires?
them.
Can't see the wires.
All right, thanks everybody.
Grab that Jeremy, guys. We'll see you next week.
No, it's soon. Next video.
Soon.
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
soon.
Next soon.
Next soon, everyone.